The chandeliers glowed like falling stars above the grand ballroom, their light bouncing off the gold-trimmed drapes and ivory silk tablecloths. This was supposed to be the happiest day of my life, or so everyone thought. Guests whispered excitedly, sipping champagne, unaware that beneath my composed smile, a storm raged. My bride-to-be, Emma, had spent months insisting on a lavish public wedding. She wanted grandeur, cameras, and hundreds of eyes on her. At first, I thought it was vanity. Later, I realized it was deception. Because Emma wasn't just marrying me for love. She was marrying me for status, wealth, and the perfect facade. I had discovered the truth only 3 weeks earlier. A careless text message flashing across her phone had shattered the illusion I had lived in for years. Can't wait till this is over. After the vows, we'll finally have everything we need. The message read, sent not to me, but to her lover Daniel, a slick investment banker with charm as thin as glass. My chest had gone cold that night, and as Emma slept soundly beside me, I knew my wedding couldn't just be a ceremony. It had to be her undoing. So I planned. Quietly, patiently. I smiled through the rehearsals, endured her endless demands for perfection, and let her parade me around like a trophy. But behind the scenes, I gathered evidence, messages, photos, late-night rendezvous. And then I prepared the surprise that would turn her dream wedding into a nightmare she would never forget. The music swelled as Emma walked down the aisle in her designer gown, pearls glittering at her throat, her smile radiant for the cameras. Guests gasped at her beauty. She looked at me like nothing was wrong, like she hadn't been betraying me all along. But my eyes didn't soften. I kept my mask in place. When the officiant asked if I took this woman to be my wife, I let a pause stretch. So long that whispers rustled through the crowd like wind through dry leaves. Emma's fingers tightened around mine. She whispered, say it. I smiled, and instead of, I do, I nodded toward the massive screen behind us. The screen flickered to life, startling the guests. Emma froze, her face pale beneath her makeup. At first, it looked like a slideshow. A photo of Emma and I, smiling at an engagement party. Then another. Her choosing flowers, me holding her hand. The audience sighed at the sweetness. But the next photo drained the room of warmth. It was Emma, lips locked with Daniel, her arms wrapped around him in the very cafe she told me she went to 4 wedding planning meetings. Gasps filled the air. Emma's hand jerked from mine. No, stop this, she hissed, her voice sharp, desperate. But the slideshow continued. Screenshots of texts. He's so gullible. The wedding's just a formality. We'll get what we need after. I can't wait to spend our honeymoon in secret, not with him. The ballroom erupted into chaos. Guests whispered, some covered their mouths in shock. Others pulled out their phones to record. Emma's parents sat frozen, their faces crimson with shame. My friends looked at me with a mix of pity and admiration. Realizing I had turned betrayal into theater,